We're here for the DE&I meeting, 19th of October at 6. Please identify yourself. BJ Addison Reed, Chair.
Carl Foss is here.
Ghani here.
Nancy Bonacera.
Am I
Nick,
supposed to identify myself? I'm not sure. I'm a guest.
Sorry, did no one hear me? Yes, I'm Nick Priest. Sorry, I thought I came off mute.
thank you. Let's go ahead and get started. First on the agenda is to look at the minutes from 5th of October. Carl?
Yes, I sent the draft last night. Did anyone have any needed edits or corrections?
Sorry, I didn't get a chance to review. I'm taking a quick peek right now. Bear with me. Looks good. Thank you.
I move that we approve the minutes from October 5th, 2022.
Second?
I
Those, those in favor? Please vote.
Sayed Ghani, yes.
Nancy Bonacera, yes.
Nick
Carl
Priest.
Foss, yes.
Nick Priest, yes.
BJ, yes.
And
Carl, you also sent notes from the minutes when we met on the 19th of September.
I'm sorry, it was Kristen from the clerk's office is looking for minutes from when we all attended the select board meeting on April 11th. So that's the other Did I send the wrong one?
I saw it.
Okay, so these are notes that or minutes from just the portion when the select board discussed and approved the change to the mission statement, and then a little bit of the planning, the very initial planning for the joint meeting between DEIC and select board. And
Okay,
so if we can approve those, I can send them to Kristen, and then I think we should be fully caught up with the minutes for our committee.
okay. You want to move?
Oh, well, did anyone see any needed corrections on there? I know it was months ago, but
No.
okay, then I move we approve the minutes from the joint meeting of the select board and the DEIC from April 11th, 2022.
Second.
Thanks, Nick. Those in favor, please vote.
Nick Priest.
Nancy Bonacera, yes.
Sayed Ghani, yes.
Carl Foss, yes.
BJ Addison Reed, yes.
Thank
Okay,
you all. I will send those to her tonight.
thank you.
Thank you, Carl.
Next
Carl,
up,
you do a good job, brother. Just saying. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
next item on the agenda is the select board and DE&I to reschedule for November. Nick, do we have a date?
We do not. I just asked Lynn to put out another poll to look for working date. We should be seeing that soon. So stand by on that. My apologies. My day job has caught up with me.
Okay, thank you. Next item on the agenda is an update for the third quarterly report. And so you received that from me. I sent another copy yesterday with some updates, and I wonder if you have any comments or feedback that you'd like to provide.
My comment is I owe you a write-up from the school committee, and I will get that to you tonight.
Thank you.
Looks good to me, BJ. I'd already given you some feedback offline.
Yes. Any other thoughts?
Thank you for typing it up.
Set up, set up, set up. Sometimes it takes a lot for me to get it in order. So, once I receive the feedback from Carl from the school committee, then what I will do is submit it tomorrow to Lynn so she can put it on the agenda for the select board that is going to meet next Monday, the 24th of October. And all we want to do is to present those 3 pages that shows the comments that we've gotten from the chairs. Any other thoughts?
Are we all planning to attend that night?
I oh, no, very well.
Good response.
Take that to be a no.
Oh,
So
brother.
you're not gonna be there, right?
Yeah. I guess I want to just ask this committee's thoughts. So the October 24th agenda is shaping up to be a very, very busy one. So if A, we want to be on that agenda, and B, we want to attend, I just caution that it's already going to be quite the busy agenda. And then after, I don't have a calendar in front of me, but after that, the next meeting is, hang on,
The 6th, 7th.
probably, yeah, the 7th, I think, is the next one. Or it's the
It's your call,
I'll
Nick.
just do 7th. Well, no, it's not my call. I mean, it's this committee's call. If we want to get this in front of the select board sooner, if we want to send it along in advance, and then have an open discussion later in November. I mean, not like late November, but after October is done, we can cut this a couple different ways. It's just a question of this committee's preference.
Just FYI, I looked at the town calendar and the next scheduled meeting is the 14th of November.
Yeah.
So it sounds like this Monday, there won't be enough time or bandwidth for the select board to dive deeply into the report. Is that a fair statement?
I would I'll respectfully rephrase and say that because of how busy the agenda is already becoming, I want to make sure that the board has the opportunity to be more thoughtful as opposed to just moving through agenda items because there's so much already kind of on the plate, so to speak.
I'm okay with moving it to the 14th.
Yeah, I was going to say something similar. Unless there is a pressing need for us to be on the agenda this Monday, it makes sense to postpone it to the 14th.
That's right. And you also make time for them. Thank you.
Yeah, I agree with moving it to the 14th.
Okay. Done. Next item on the agenda is to open the meeting. And if you're going to speak, provide your name and you have 2 minutes to speak.
Can I speak?
Go ahead.
My name is George Bassler. I'm speaking to Nick Priest. I'm not really sure how the new rules work because y'all have been retrained and going through new things. Nick, are you gonna let Jonathan Sachs let y'all remail things townwide at the taxpayer's expense? I'm just curious about that. Thank you.
Thanks for the question, George. If you'd like to, talk about that at the next select board meeting, that's fine, but this is not the place for that conversation.
Well, actually, this is a public time, and we can speak about anything, even off agenda, legally. But I
Yep.
understand. I'm not
Anything as it
arguing with you.
relates,
Go ahead.
anything as it relates to diversity, equity, inclusion, as that's what this committee's purpose and intent is. So, if you want to keep it to those questions, I'm more than happy to engage.
No, well, actually, the public time is for anything, even off subjective. So, but
No,
fine, no
people
problem.
aren't gonna walk into like a school committee meeting and ask about DPW issues, right?
But no, you can't do that. But in public time, the allotted time, I think it's like 20 minutes or something for all the public to do that. You actually can. You can present new ideas, new ways forth, and do that. But no problem. Nick.
That's
No,
not
no
how
problem.
that's not how it works. It's at the discretion of the chair, and the chair has set 2 to 3 minutes, and it's pertaining to things that have to do with that particular board or committee.
Diversity, equity, and inclusion is the
In this
topic here.
particular case, yes.
Thank you, Nick. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you, Nick.
All right, next item on the agenda, our next meeting is scheduled for Wednesday, the 2nd of November at 6. Questions, thoughts? Saeed, are you away that day?
I am, yes.
Okay, so there'll be 4 of us for that meeting. Any other comments?
Nick, I don't recall if this was finalized, but we have talked about this in the past. Our tenure for this committee, I believe, ends in early November, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe late October even. Are we going to receive a renewal, for lack of a better word, or how does that work?
That's a great question. So yeah, so because we had a late start to things. I've been saying that the end of November is kind of what we're targeting for the 1 year. Given that it was a little bumpy to get things going. Technically, at that point, the committee's dissolved, and the select board needs to discuss what the plan forward is. Right. So do we restart this committee? Is there a different charge applied to it? What's the form and function? Things of that nature. I know, like a meeting or two ago, we discussed like is there any benefit to including town staff, like ISAC has done, things of that nature. So I would say, like, from our experience over the last year, if we have recommendations back to the select board, that can be provided, and then hopefully this winter we can engage in that conversation and see what the next steps are going to be.
I have a
So,
question.
so Nick, does that mean that we will know by the end of November whether the committee is staying the course or whether we are disbanded? Is that what you're saying?
It'll probably be disbanded before we do anything else actionable. Only because I mean, and this is more like based off of, I'm speaking more in a traditional sense, in that, like, the committee issues its final report, whatever authorizing body, in this case the select board, would review and then decide what the next steps are. Sometimes ad hoc committees only exist for that short period of time, like our water commission a couple years back. I think that we've learned that a more standing representation of a DEI committee should exist. So I think that it warrants further discussion with the select board, and I welcome all of you to kind of help us have that conversation.
Okay.
The only thing that Nancy and I have to mention to the group is that we have a meeting tomorrow evening with the planning board, starting at 6 to 6:50, when they then convene in a regular meeting. And we are there to talk about DE&I and are working with the group to look at philosophy, mission, and the whole process to look at diversity, equity, and inclusion. We also have a meeting that is planned for the 20th, I believe it's the 20th of November, to speak with the Board of Health about DE&I for that group as well. So even though the select board hasn't decided whether we're to exist, we still have arrangements to be met for the boards that we're working with. Any other thoughts?
Yes, me, please. George Bassler.
What's your comment?
Well, actually, it's a question for Nick Priest. Do you care to comment on Nikki Lisk's Burlington Bars? You know that very well. Comment on they've removed some head of this DEI thing or something in Burlington. Take your time.
I'm sorry, George. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, thank you.
Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Thank you,
Second.
Carl. Second, Nancy, thank you. All those in favor? Please vote with your name.
Nancy Bonacera, yes.
Carl, yes.
Leilani, yes.
Be
Nick-
strong, Nick.
BJ Addison Reed, yes. Thank you. Talk to you soon.